Keeper does not have any exceptional mechanics or strong gameplay to make it stand out, but what it does have is an amazing world and a unique story. While the lackluster gameplay may seem like poor design at first glance, I think that it is the perfect accompaniment to a world as vibrant and creative as this. The simple mechanics allow you to fully immerse yourself in the story and artwork instead of meeting skill checks or min-maxing your character. It follows the journey of a newly walking lighthouse and its feathered friend. As they climb a mountain together, they also assist the locals and fight back an evil darkness. This strange yet curious premise is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how weird things can get. The main draw-in of Keeper is its story. There are many ways a story can be told. Movies, books, and plays are some common examples. These might differ in presentation, but all require the same level of interaction. This is where video games stand apart from typical forms of entertainment. Uniquely, you are not only a spectator, but also a participant. This does not only apply to games with choice, as even linear ones still require you to move yourself to the next chapter. Keeper doesn't have any deep mechanics, skill requirements, or even a fail state. It does not require very much at all from the player aside from their willingness to continue. In essence, it's just a story. It would have worked as a movie or a book, but I think that it being a game is the reason it hits as hard as it does. Keeper's gameplay isn't there to challenge you, but rather provides you the means to experience its story. The lighthouse is not just a subject for you to follow, it's a character that you can relate with. In the opening moments, you suddenly get legs and now need to learn to walk. During this time, you will constantly be stumbling and falling over. It's both incredibly frustrating and incredibly clever. It makes you feel just as the lighthouse would, as it struggles with basic movement. This was one of the central motifs, and is the biggest reason why I think the story of Keeper is best sold as a game. By controlling the lighthouse yourself, it allows you to empathize rather than sympathize. The actual gameplay portion of Keeper is very dynamic. The way it changes is worked in tightly with your journey. Different chapters allow you to perform different functions, or sometimes impact the way you move. These new abilities are never permanent, so while they are fun to use, you also know that you will soon be replacing it with something else just as exciting. An example is this cloud plant that gets wrapped up against you. This allows you to jump and glide for this chapter, but you know it won't last forever. This constant rotation of skills not only prevents things from getting stale, but also further connects you with the characters through their loss and gains. Not all of your abilities are cycled out. One of the retained functions of the lighthouse is its lamp. The uncontrollable camera is on a preset track that follows your movement. This frees up the right analog stick to be used for your lamp, which moves separately from your body. This is your primary way to interact with the world around you. Whether it's lighting up dark areas or burning corruption, this multifunctional beam of light has been seamlessly integrated into the game's mechanics. It's easy to learn with nothing to master. This sits right at home with such an easygoing game. The most complex gameplay comes from the puzzles. This isn't to say that they themselves are complicated, because they really aren't. In fact, a majority of them are so easy that I don't know if they should be called puzzles at all. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a dig at their design. I think that the design is perfect. This isn't a puzzle game, nor is it advertised as one. It is an adventure, and the puzzles exist as a form of interaction instead of a brain teaser. They are used as a way to break up the cinematic progression and give you some freedom to explore. This freedom is another reason as to why Keeper works so well as a game. Being able to take some time looking around in a cave or examining houses in a town is not possible in other mediums. With that exploration also comes the opportunity for secrets to be found. In this case, finding secrets uncovers the history of this strange world. I love that the gameplay design embraces the experience and allows you to focus on its story. Keeper's story doesn't have any words or explanations. It is about the journey that a lighthouse makes to the top of a mountain. The reasons as to why are up to you. Even when the credits rolled, My wife and I had completely different opinions about how the story ended and what the journey was truly about. This ambiguity is the best part of the storyline. It is open to interpretation and discovery. To me, this was a story of growth and determination, but that doesn't mean you will see it in the same way. That is what made it so special. I would best describe the world of Keeper as nonsensical. Everything is strange and unworldly. This is an incredibly creative universe, and that is further expressed by its inhabitants. Throughout the various smaller arcs of the game, you will come across a range of weird and zany characters. Each of these need your help before they can help you. The assistance they need corresponds to the functional gameplay changes mentioned before. Each segment is a standalone adventure that is enjoyable alone, but is made greater by contributing to the overarching story. Even though no one can speak, you still develop a connection with the main characters. You would never expect a lighthouse and a bird to be able to show so much emotion through their body language alone. Their excitement, their pain, their joy. Not only can you feel it, but you share it with them. It requires a very high level of skill to pull that off. The artists and animators deserve high praise for their work here, and it makes me very excited to see what comes next. Many modern games fail to utilize Unreal Engine 5 correctly because they tend to overcrowd your screen. It can be difficult to appreciate the artwork when so many high-fidelity assets are being dumped onto you at once. When there is too much detail, it all becomes lost in a jumbled mess of pixels. While Keeper does make use of Unreal Engine 5, it does not suffer from this problem. There certainly is a lot of detail here, but it is all curated. There is a stark contrast between low and high fidelity models. This draws your attention to key elements. I took my time appreciating the intricate world design, and never once did I feel overwhelmed by it. Each space felt handmade, as if someone molded it from clay. Another aspect that I particularly enjoyed was the usage of the lighthouse lamp for world design. There are many pitch black spaces where you can only see where your light is pointing. Dragging it through the darkness to illuminate your surroundings felt both spooky and exciting. In these dark spaces, I was given a chance to explore, as if I were standing there holding the torch myself. Perhaps the only real weakness I experienced was the music. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as polished as the other elements. It didn't always fit the mood of the scenes. For example, in one scene the music was a bit too upbeat for what felt like a sadder mood. More than just that, occasionally the combination of plentiful sound effects and constant music was too much. It sometimes created a blur of sound that wasn't clearly recognizable. These are definitely not major issues, but rather minor imperfections. Keeper is a strange one. As mentioned before, it is much more a story than it is a game. While it does have its light puzzles and some beautifully crafted action set pieces, this isn't what I would recommend if you want something hands-on. A large portion of your time will be spent traversing, appreciating and experiencing, rather than being actively challenged. If you like a good story and don't need high action to be engaged, then this is a wonderful way to spend a relaxing weekend. I highly recommend Keeper to you. If you have enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, my channel is right here. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Thanks for watching.